Well, good afternoon everyone, and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Something totally different today. I've got a plant in front of you there. It's a Rossioglossum, and many years ago I was told to throw it away because it was diseased and one thing and another, but I kept it. And like all these plants, you can breed disease out of them. You know, I'm a great believer in that because I've done it before, and this is an example of it. Well, from what I just said about growing disease out of plants, I'm sorry to break in on this Rossioglossum video, but I'd just like to show you this one, what I mean. This one in front of you is get the label, Fragmipedium grande macrochilum. Now, I've had this a few years now, and it was given to me by an excellent breeder. But the trouble is, all the new growth started coming up white. So I rang him up and I said, what was the problem with it? He said, oh, throw it away, throw it away. So I thought, well, I'm not throwing it away. I'll just keep it on one side and see what happens to it. And it's had about 4 or 5 growths since then. Probably even more than that. This is the newest growth. You can see it's all nice and green, and the old leaves, they're like that. It's gone away from the white now, going to the yellow blotches. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove them two and let it carry on growing, because there's another growth coming up there which is right. So what I mean to say is that if you find a plant that's you think is diseased, just shove it on one side, let it grow and see if it grows out. You might find that it might just do that. It's been in this pot now for about must be 3 years. So I'm going to repot it. I haven't had it all that time in 3 years. Somebody else was growing it for me, and with them they had it flowering, but as I said, the buds all blasted. So I've got it back again. So we'll go and have a look what it's like and see what the roots are like. It has a bit spot. We'll give it a good squeeze to begin with, and it's coming out quite easily. Got some smallish bark in it and perlite, and these the roots aren't too bad at all. Just a bit damp. Some rotten roots in the middle there. So, oh hello. And this is loose here at the side. What's this? It's a separate plant. So we'll just tease that apart. Have a look what roots are like on there. We can tease it apart. It looks like it's stuck with one branch root from there. So I'll nip that. Yep. I'll nip that there, and it should drop off, I think. Yep, there we go. It's got 1 or 2 decent roots on this, so I should repot that up, and hopefully we've got a new plant. There's no marks on the pseudobulb, there's no marks on the leaf, so that should make a nice new plant. So what I'll do, I'll just clean this up and I'll come back to you. Well, we've taken quite a lot of the old bark off, which was attached to the roots, cleaned up any dead roots, and you can see here where the old spikes were coming from the base of the pseudobulb. And if I look round here, we've got bad pseudobulb, and you see it there where it's black. It's just going rotten. So I'm going to take that off. Pull it off. That's it. I'm going to pull it off, and to seal that I'm going to put some of my special brew in. Well, these are the Sangre de Grado or Dragon's Blood, and we'll just put a few drops where that came from, and there's some on this pseudobulb here that's rotting a little bit. But that'll have stopped anything now. So with the dragon's blood I can rest assured that any diseases that might have occurred will all have gone with that. So I'm going to repot this up and then leave it to his own devices. As you know, these Rossioglossums come from where is it? Guatemala. Guatemala. They're cool to warm growing species, or rather a warm to cold growing species. You know, they like temperatures in summer around about, I don't know, 23 Fahrenheit, 24 Fahrenheit, something like that. And they like dropping down about 12 degrees at night time. So that's what they need in temperatures. As far as light concerned, they like sort of a Paphiopedilum light, a bit lower than a Cattleya, but you know, not too dark. But it's like all these plants, they'll all stand a nice intermediate temperature. You know, whether you've got paphs, frags, whatever you've got, grow everything intermediate and they'll adapt to it. Well, as you probably know, these are a lithotype sort of plant. You know, they grow in the moss in between rocks. So I'm planting the larger one up into this pot, this pond plant pot that gives a lot of air to the roots, which it will require. So I'm just using some medium-sized bark, some bit of charcoal, and some grow stones. So I'll pot the big one up, and then we'll start in the little one, which I'm going to put into the same pot that the whole plant came out of. So we'll just start off with a handful of that, get it to the right depths. Well, that's not so bad to start with. If the plant's going a little bit deep, you can always raise it up a little, but you can't push it down if it's too high up. And I'm expecting this to quite well. Simple enough to do. Expecting it will flower from this pseudobulb when it's due again, because the leaves are very, very nice on it. These are the old pseudobulb with one or two marks on it, one or two leaves with the old marks on it. So that's that one done. The other one, pretty similar, well, probably identical, but I need to get some more. I always like to plant them with the plants sticking upright and not on one side, just a bit short of like here, but it'll do for the time being. So I'll put a couple of labels in there, Rossioglossum grande, and then give them a go watering, and that should be enough water then for another month at this time of year. So thanks very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.